Hi there, Dr. Rob here, your biosafety advisor. Did you know your hands routinely become contaminated, which can lead to you becoming ill or spreading the contamination to others? Luckily, a thorough hand washing with just plain soap and water will remove that contamination and keep you safe. But what should you use to wash your hands? When should you wash them? How should you wash them? All good questions. In everyday life, we are constantly touching things like our phones, doorknobs, raw food, soil, other people, and more, which may have biohazards on them. This can then lead to us spreading the contamination to the objects we touch, other people, and even ourselves. For example, if you sneeze and then touch your phone is now contaminated. Therefore, washing your hands is absolutely vital to prevent this contamination from spreading further and potentially making you sick. So, when should you wash your hands? Really, it's as often as needed. For example, if you're having a home day, it might only be a couple times a day after using the washroom. However, if you're out shaking hands, touching anything that others have touched like hand railings, doorknobs, and certainly after going to the washroom, then you should wash your hands many times. Washing your hands is a quick, easy, and very effective way at preventing illness and the spread of contamination. Unfortunately, you never know if your hands are contaminated or not because you can't see, smell, or feel the contamination. That's why it's important to get into the habit of washing your hands after touching anything that you think might be contaminated. Now, what should you use to wash your hands? Old-fashioned soap and water is still the best. The foaming soaps are the most effective, followed by the liquid soaps, and finally the bar of soap. This is because you get more effective soap suds with the foam and the liquid soaps than you do with the bar of soap. So how does soap work? Soap is what's called a surfactant, which removes the oils from your hands and some of the older skin cells. It is this physical removal of the contamination layer from your hands that is so important. The soap and the friction of rubbing your hands frees the contamination from your hands enough to be washed away with the water. This is why special antibacterial soaps that claim they kill most of the bacteria are no better than regular soaps, as the contamination is removed anyway. So what about hand sanitizers? Unfortunately, they're a poor substitute for hand washing with soap and water. This is because they only kill some of the germs and they leave all that contamination on your hands. Hand sanitizers should only be used as an emergency short-term solution until you can wash your hands with soap and water. Do not rely solely upon hand sanitizers to clean your hands. They do not work as well as soap and water, and people have died believing they do. Next, what is the best way to wash your hands? First, wet your hands and then add soap until you get soap suds. Rub the soap suds all over your hands, including the back of your hands, palms, and between the fingers. Rub with medium pressure for about 15 seconds. Then rinse your hands, still rubbing them together under the water for another 15 seconds. If you think you've gotten contamination under your fingernails, clean there as well with a brush. Washing your hands is a quick, easy, and very effective method of removing all potential biohazards from your hands so that you don't get sick and are not spreading it to others. To recap, remember that your hands get contaminated every day during your daily activities. This contamination could infect you or spread to others. Therefore, get into a good habit of washing your hands frequently and thoroughly with soap and water. Do not rely solely on the use of hand sanitizers, as they are not that effective. So, if you've shaken anyone's hand, handled food, or used the washroom, or you think your hands have been contaminated in any other way, then wash those hands so you can be safe, be biosafe.